So, guys, after the release of Kalki Cinematic Universe's first movie, Kalki 2898 AD, we are left with many questions. What happened in the end? What happened to Supreme Yaskin? Who is Kalki? Who is Kali? What will happen to Karna? And today we will discuss all these topics, clarify our thoughts, and also understand why Nag Ashwin named the upcoming movies as part of the Kalki Cinematic Universe rather than simply Kalki Part 2 or 3. Let's first wrap up the ending where, as the climax action begins, Bhairava, disguised as Ashwatthama, fights Ashwatthama, and obviously, the original Ashwatthama wins. He comes into his ultimate form, transforming into a titan-like transformer who has the physicality of a gorilla, and then the battle continues. Meanwhile, Commander Manas breaks through the force field and enters Shambhala, and his army fights the people there. The surprising thing is that they do not fight Manas's army until the end, where they attack them using their own technology. However, the biggest change we see in Bhairava's brother is when he saves Sumitji from falling off a bridge and jumps in to catch him. It seems like a typical movie moment where, after saving Ashwatthama, you expect a thank you for a change of heart, but no. He punches Bhairava so hard that his character doesn't get up afterward. After that, Commander Manas is just about to take Simbi away from Ashwatthama when the first and last leaf falls from the burning tree in Shambhala and lands on Ashwatthama's staff, fulfilling the prophecy that Bhairava's staff is actually a bow, the victorious bow of his friend Karna. After Karna's death, Ashwatthama carries it with him. After Bhairava's transformation into Karna, in the next scene, he saves Sumdi using the bow, which is his staff. He powers up the bow and kills Commander Manas with it, realizing that his old friend has returned. Just like before, when he saved him, we see that moment again. But all these joyful moments are short-lived. Bhairava's consciousness returns after saving Sumdi, but despite his efforts, he cannot save both Bhairava and Sumdi. Bhairava grabs Sumdi and runs away. After that, we get to see the final sequence of the Mahabharata, where Prabhas as Karna once again saves Ashwatthama, representing the present timeline. The entire moment was intense. I mean, they didn't miss the Mahabharata sequence, and the movie cuts to black. After that, in a dissolved transition, we get a hint of the Kalki cinematic universe, which is slightly strange. But anyway, the movie ends on a strong note, and after a few credits, we see Kamal Haasan in a mid-credit scene. This was the biggest reveal so far, confirming who the main villain of this story is, at least for Phase 1. To understand this, first, you need to know that in the mid-credits, after Counselor loses the war, he tells Yaskin that they were only able to save one drop of the serum that was extracted from Sumdi, which gives Yaskin so much power that his body reaches its peak. I mean, his stitches on the head still exist, but his body becomes bulked up, with abs and immense power. It's like the guy is literally on steroids. The irony is that these steroids are given to him by God Singh, just as he had demanded. After building his body, Yaskin declares he's ready to enter the competition. Counselor says a great power is coming, and I will bring Simbi to you. But by then, Yaskin is in a different mode, saying, "No, let it be. I will find her myself." As soon as he picks up the recently discovered bow, Gandhi, he recites a verse. But before that, they discover that the bow was created by Brahma, which we saw in the Mahabharata sequence in Arjuna's hands. It's a god-killer weapon that's nearly impossible to stop and can defeat even the gods, and now Yaskin has it in the present timeline. After wielding Gandhi, Yaskin recites a verse. The wheel of Jagannath's chariot will turn, and with each rotation, it will bring forth the end of an era and the birth of a new one. They hint at the Kalki universe because, currently, we are in the Kali Yuga, and after this, Satya Yuga will come. If we take this verse literally, Kali would never want the end of Kali Yuga and the arrival of Satya Yuga, but metaphorically it also holds another meaning. At the beginning of the movie, we are told how 6,000 years ago, a celestial constellation appeared, which was last seen during the time of the Mahabharata. Now, the same constellation is visible during the birth of Kalki, and Counselor also mentions that this constellation appears once every 6,000 years. The Khadga Ashwini constellation signifies the timeline when the gods must not miss their chance to take an avatar, or else the next opportunity, will come after 60-100 years. It seems like Kalki will be born in the next movie, if not in this one. Bhairava may have run away with Simdi, but I don't think, after the revelation and everything he's experienced or what Buji saw and recorded, he would betray them. We saw that during the battle, Bhairava was improving and reviewing the fight recordings. Maybe later, Bhairava will show Simdi what had happened. Afterward, Bhairava might take Simdi to Yaskin when he's in a bind. But Bhairava won't hand her over completely. Deep down, he's a good person and obviously, the consciousness of Karna within him will stop him from committing such a sin. He ran away with Simdi because it was the perfect moment to escape from Ashvatthama. However, I don't think he'll hand her over to Yaskin. I think they will try to awaken Karna's consciousness in Bhairava because he was their friend, and that's why they chose his body. Karna's awakening will likely happen in the next movie, and they will fight together. At this point, Yaskin's form shows us that Kamal Hazen is clearly the big daddy, villain of this universe. I mean, why build up Kamal Hazen if he isn't the mastermind of this universe? I firmly believe that he's the main villain in Phase 1. The clues are everywhere, like how people have known about this demon for 200 years, but he's probably existed long before that. He only revealed himself publicly 200 years ago, and now people worship him. But he doesn't allow the worship of gods because, obviously, if people worship the gods, he will weaken. There's also the demonic presence we hear in his voice when he shouts at the scientists, showing that something inside him hasn't fully activated or doesn't want to reveal itself. My theory is that Supreme Yaskin, played by Kamal Hazen, is Kali, and he is the big daddy villain of this universe. There's no other ancient master or legacy of Kali that makes sense, so it's clear that Kamal Hazen is the villain of Phase 1 of this cinematic universe. When Kalki grows stronger in the future, we will see an original version of Kali. What do you think? Yaskin now has a god-killer weapon, so it's nearly impossible to stop him. The only way is through Karna, and Bhairava is crucial to that. When Karna's consciousness awakens within Bhairava, he will be able to activate the weapon, as we saw in the Mahabharata sequence. Gandhi can only be matched by Karna, and Bhairava is essential for that. Of course, their friends will help, and I would love to see them fight and save the world together. Who knows what this cinematic universe has in store for us? What do you think? Will we see other movies in this universe before Kalki 2898 AD Part 2 or 3, focusing on different characters like Chiranjeevi? Let me know in the comments. Do you want to see solo movies about these characters that will connect to the main Kalki movies? Or are you happy with the straightforward structure of Kalki Part 2 and 3? Let us know your thoughts and theories, and we'll discuss them in the next video. Until then, keep watching PJ Explain.